Gonna have our little daily chat, and man, what an exciting couple of days we have had. One thing is, I received a couple of role playing books from one um, Doc Flamingo, and I have they showed up yesterday. I didn't even know Doc Flamingo was working on a role playing game. But from what I'm reading, it's looking pretty damn good. So, uh, big grats out to Doc Flamingo for having made his own role playing game. That's kind of cool. I haven't, like I said, I haven't really had time to go through it. But, like I read the back and I started reading it. What up, Windrunner? What up, homie? Hey, if you still need some complicated machinery, I might have some. But anyway, so yes, Doc Flamingo has written a role playing game and he sent me a copy. And I have every intent to read it and do a just review. Now, Doc is my buddy, so I might be predisposed to not rip it apart, because I myself have a role-playing game that I wrote, and I don't know if I'd like it if somebody reviewed it and was like, yeah, this is the worst shit ever. I hate this guy and his face, and this really is just the worst role-playing game. So I mean, I'm not going to do that, but I am going to definitely review the game. It's classless, I think he said, and anyway, it's a whole game, and it really is going to need me to spend a lot more time going through it before I can have any real, opinion of the game. Right? So, Dune Runner. See, I know on here you're Windrunner, but Dune Runner. Windrunner, wasn't that your Star Wars character? I think it was. But anyway, Leth wants to join. Let's let Leth join for some reason.
Hello, what you talking about?
What am I talking about? Well, Doc Flamingo made a role-playing game, and he sent a copy of it to me.
Oh, nice.
And I've basically been starting to read it, and I haven't gotten very far along into it, but it looks cool. It looks cool. So once I've actually read it, made a character for it, the usual stuff you do, I'll do a review. But until then, all I can really say is it looks really cool.
Well, I rolled the stats for my backup character.
Well, it is good if you're playing Dragon Slayer with Bubba to have a backup character.
Yeah, I just don't know exactly what I want to play for, what I want to set up as a backup.
Well, I mean, where did you put your biggest stat? That should tell you right there, right?
I haven't finalized that yet. I rolled really good though. I got like a 17, a 16, a 14, 12, 11, and a 10.
That's a pretty good character. You should be able to basically play just about anything.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe a paladin or a fighter.
Well, I would, of course, and bear in mind, I'm super biased, and this is something me and Hungar have argued about. I would much rather stick that 17 into strength or con than charisma.
That is fair, and that's the iffy part. I'm like, yeah, I'd like to play a paladin, but then I'd have like a 14 strength.
You couldn't play a paladin though, Leth.
Why couldn't I?
Think about the rest of the members of the group you're a member of. Right?
They are crazy. But I was thinking
That
of
means as a paladin, you could group with them for exactly one adventure.
fair. That would probably be
That is
about
the
it.
rules for paladins. Paladins can only group with non-lawful good people for one adventure, and it has to be something important. You know,
That would be a good
at
idea
which
because
point
we do
you
have a
part ways.
we do have a Crom cleric, and I could have been like a paladin of Crom.
Yeah, but that still wouldn't change the fact that you might have thieves and whatever in the group.
Yeah.
So any group that's going to have a paladin is going to have to, toe the line. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
I might go with the Zelda-inspired fighter then.
A Zelda-inspired fighter. So Link.
Kind of.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, it's dangerous out there. Take this. Dun,
It's
dun,
dangerous
dun,
to go alone. Take this.
dun, 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 dun. Yeah, somebody made a meme out of that, and it was like, "It's dangerous to go alone. Take this," and he's handing him a kitten.
I was thinking of a different thing. Somebody made a song about it, and it went completely inappropriate direction.
Yeah, there's that one guy. He does a lot of like video game songs. He did like
Yeah.
the Portal songs, and he did the
Yeah.
zombie song. So
That was probably the one I was talking about.
yeah. The zombie song is so funny because it's like, what would happen if there was a zombie outbreak in like a corporate building? So the zombie is talking to the not zombie, and he's using like corporate speech the whole time. Right? He's like, "Hey, Bill, it's Steve from the office down the hall. It's nice to talk to you. How you been?" And then it just goes off on, And then when, of course, the guy in the room does not let the zombies in, the zombies are like, "Well, maybe we should table this for now. We really appreciate how you've been working with us. What's up?"
So I'm very glad you played the game with Dwayne. I know that was one of the things he wanted to do. Number one.
Oh.
And number two, put on your little dwarf thing because we want to keep that shirt from being painted on. I want to see you in your little dwarf thing because you're adorable in it.
Because I'm adorable in it. Well, I mean, that won me over right there.
Your little dwarf thing, huh?
Well, that's what she calls my apron, because when my beard was long and I would walk around in my apron, she always said I looked like, a dwarf.
That was another thing I was thinking about playing was my dwarf fighter, the Boulder.
Well, if you're going to play a fighter, there's two ways to go about it: human or dwarf. I mean, really.
That is kind of.
And I don't know Dragon Slayer rules immediately offhand, but I think dwarves might get a +1 to their charisma.
I don't know. I didn't think about that.
Not charisma, con.
Con. Yeah. I think they do get a +1 to their con.
So, I mean, for a fighter,
that's good.
Getting that +1 con, that's extra hit points. You know what I'm saying?
If I go with a fighter, I could just be like 17 con, which would go up to an 18, then a 16
strength,
which would
which
still
is
be
at least
good.
enough to give you, I think, a +2.
Yeah, +2.
I think 16, 17 is +2.
Yeah.
So a +2 to hit and damage, +3 to hit points.
But I'm going to wait to play the dwarf until I can actually just make him for a straight up game. If I was to restart, that game again, I'd probably play the Boulder.
The Boulder.
Yes, the boulder. I'm just talking in third person like that the whole time.
That's funny. So anyway, some of the boxes of stuff I ordered finally arrived, so that's cool. The main thing I'm wondering about is, did my soda car finally arrive? Because I paid for them. They never arrived. I told the guy. He told me he would get them shipped right out. So I've got some boxes from the guy. And I'm hoping there are some soda cars in here. Because, let's be honest, the soda car are the coolest dudes in the Dune thing. Right? Just the whole.
They get a +1 Constitution to a -1 Charisma.
Yeah, soda car don't get any bonuses. I think they just have straight 18s and everything.
While elves get a +1.
Yep, this is soda car right here.
Elves get +1 to dexterity, -1 Constitution.
So here's my soda car. He came through. You know, I could see playing a game of one-page rules skirmish using these Dune miniatures. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife was like, I didn't know we might play that game. I was like, and I told her, I was like, well, here's the thing. All the people who played the game love it and want to play it again. She's like, oh, man. And I was like, admit it, you were enjoying it. And she's like, yeah, but I hate when you just change games on me. If you're going to play a fighter, there's one way to go, and that's dwarf. Yeah, see, Hungar. I already said that, Hungar.
Again, I'm saving that dwarf fighter for a different game.
Well, he wrote me a thank you note. And what do we got here? Characters. So we've got a Bene Gesserit witch. We've got a giant fat baron. We've got some Harkonnen assault troops in heavier armor. Desert kit, basically. Okay, so that's that. That's all as it should be. And then this is from Overland Games. I know what this is. This was hard to get. I can tell you that right now. And I probably spent way more on it than I should have. And you will be like, yeah, I don't even know what the hell that is, so I don't care, but it's important to me. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Just rip the box open. I'm not going to save this box anyway. Yep, it's what I thought it was.
Hey, James, what's the original color of your desk?
Black.
Black. Okay, fair enough.
It was originally black.
Somebody said he bets that you didn't know the original color of that desk.
Yeah, it was black, but I used it as a palette so much. And if you here's what's crazy. I've had this desk for a long time. So every now and then, I'll take a knife and like peel the paint off of it. Not that most of you care, but I got the Dune Smuggler set, which was only available if you backed the Kickstarter years and years ago. And who knows, maybe they'll release it and people won't have to pay $100 and something for it.
Maybe.
But what this does is it adds smugglers to the Dune game, the War of Arrakis, and they're like NPCs. So all the players can actually control them by using actions. So it's a good way if you're having a hard time getting spice to get spice. And of course, it comes with um, 1, 2, 3 harvesters, 3 ornithopters, a carry-all, and 7 house troops, and then the cards you'll need. And then if you can get the smugglers to align with a specific house, you get special characters. And then this just sits next to the board so you can keep track of who's influencing whom. So I've got this. So I've got everything because they haven't created anything else for the game. But it's basically the Spacers Guild, Smugglers, and then the basic game. Hopefully one day they will create like Ordos, some of the other houses that were heavily involved with stuff that was going on, like in the original Dune RTS video game, I think on Nintendo, but I'm not sure. Is that Satan?
No, that's the boulder.
The boulder. Yeah, but I was just thinking of like Dragon Ball Z, how they named the main character Satan. Because
it wasn't the main character, it was just a side character. It was
what's her name's dad, wasn't it?
Videl's dad, but he wasn't really a main character. He was.
Are we going to really argue about this?
I mean, he only showed up in like late part of Cell Saga.
I wouldn't know. I didn't watch that shit. I'm not a nerd. Fucking weebs. Sitting around
First time
watching,
you even see him is like
watching a Dragon Ball Z fight for like 3 months straight, and not knowing who's even won.
Like,
and it doesn't matter because in the end, like they become friends anyway.
The original Dragon Ball was much better.
I wouldn't know. I didn't watch that either because I'm not a nerd.
Fair.
You know what? I watched Gunsmoke with Marshall Dillon.
That's what my papa watched.
Yeah, that's what I watched too.
He watched a lot of Western stuff.
See, me and your papa, we were cool. You, on the other hand, are a nerd. It was the Sega system. Okay. See, me and your papa, we could hang out and we could watch, Marshall Dillon and we could watch Paladin and, the Rifleman and all that stuff and make fun of you for being a weeb. Be like,
hey, I watched mostly American cartoons when I grew up.
This weeb.
I mean, I remember Hey Arnold, Cat Dog,
Yeah.
Recess.
Alone in the world, he is a little cat dog. Yeah.
That song was weird. I don't know how that guy even sang that because it was just ridiculous.
That is a weird thing. But
the boulder is confused. What boat are you painting?
I am painting a Macedonian trireme.
Yeah.
And of course, the deck wood is of a slightly lighter shade than the hull wood. And I am doing it all with the wash from Vallejo because I have to admit the Vallejo Express color is really cool. It's really nice. I've been really enjoying it. So, and I'm Also, I highlighted the oars and then went over them with that lighter brown. So that looks like there's definitely two sets of oars there. You can tell it's a Macedonian ship because of the tail design, that sun device or whatever. So I have the three of them done. And, you know, other than what might be in the three empty spaces, you know, because it really just depends. Like somebody could decide they want to go hard into archery and just have three spaces full of Toxlaw archery, you know, archers. Or maybe they want to go heavy into defense, so they put hoplites on. They want to go heavy into boarding ships, so they put pirates on. It's nap time. It's always nap time for you. Anyway, you get what I'm saying, though, right? Because these ships there are literally dozens upon dozens of different things that plug into those squares. So you really can make the ship, you know, no two ships have to be exactly the same, is I guess what I'm trying to say. You know, you can have a ship with a catapult. You can have a ship with a freaking. I'm working for a Twisted Mentat now. Yeah, like here's some of the stuff I need to paint, but there's just like so many different things in here that will plug in to the ship.
Now I need to figure something out too.
You know, there's ballistas and catapults and mangonels and like all of that stuff. And then, of course, at the top of every ship, there's going to be a flag. And the color of the flag denotes the veterancy of the ship. So, you know, and like here's two units of archers I haven't clipped out and glued to bases, but so yeah, I mean, you could have archers, you can have straight up pirates, you know what I mean? You can have catapults and ballistas, and then if you want to get really crazy, you can actually have towers that can be used for either boarding actions or archers, or some of them you can actually mount like ballista on. And you can put a front cell on, or you can put this damn thing on, which is, you know, big braziers full of burning hot coals on the end of chains. And the whole idea is if you ram an enemy ship, these things will swing forward and dump all of those burning coals directly on the bridge of the enemy ship, or on the deck of the enemy ship. And then you got this little guy right here. This is a cutie pie. It can only go in the very front of the ship, but basically it's just a device loaded with like shit tons of javelins or arrows or something. And when you fire it, you know, a spring-loaded thing slaps it and sends all those arrows whizzing at, you know, whoever's trying to come close to you. Or you can be slick and you can actually mount a front cell on the ship, which will make it faster and more maneuverable. I mean, that's an option too, you know. So, yeah. Yeah, so let me look right here real quick. Right here is my box. Oh, bases. Because I order them from a railroad company from China. They're very cheap for 25 mil bases and stuff like that. So, they come 100 to a box for like $9. So, I end up buying like 4 boxes that time. And what's crazy is I end up going through them. And I'm like, where did all the bases go, man? I don't remember building that many things, but apparently I did. I got a Starship the other day to go with my Star Frontier stuff, but it could go with Traveler stuff too. It's a, just a big cruiser. Not a warship at all. This is definitely a civilian ship. It's got the rotating freaking hab pods and everything like that. So that's good because it means it doesn't have to constantly be at acceleration or deceleration. At 1G, it can literally just be doing its thing, and the people inside of the spin habitat are going to still effectively feel like they have gravity. Meanwhile, the people down in the actual core of the ship, if it's not moving, they're going to be completely weightless. But, that's the price you pay when you become an astronaut. And this ship would be, it's almost the perfect scale for Star Frontiers, but also even Traveler, like 2300. That'd be a pretty big ship. There's Bruce driving. Bruce is all like east, down, bound, loaded up and trucking. We're going to do what they say can't be done. We're going to drive to Colorado and get a truck bed full of Coors beer. Because apparently back then you couldn't have 4.4 in Georgia. See, I just told you the whole story now. Now you know what the whole point was. That's literally the whole point of Smokey and the Bandit. Is they wanted Coors beer because it's more alcoholic.
I prefer whiskey.
Yeah. It's weird, right? That they would make a rule in Georgia or wherever that you can't have beer higher than 2.2 or whatever, but you can buy bourbon. It's like, so what? It's like, wait.
Well, there's still like certain places in Kentucky where you can't buy our most valuable, our biggest export.
Right. My area used to be a dry county, but then they got rid of all the crooked cops and voted to
change.
Well, what it was is that the crooked cops were working hand in hand with the bootleggers, at least some of them, and getting paid off.
Yeah. And they probably also arrested the people consuming it.
And then if you were a bootlegger that was working with the crooked ass cops, you would turn in other bootleggers to get rid of the competition, So the whole thing was just the stupidest shit. But
it always has been.
But that was how it was. I mean, you still can't buy alcohol on Sunday, but I mean, they have rules still. There's still some rules. But,
yeah,
but overall, yeah, you can. It's like all of a sudden, the little town near me went from having like no alcohol at all to like a bar on every other corner. So, So it is kind of funny, you know, just to see how quick things changed, you know. But more importantly, we got a Culver's. That was nice. And of course, we got Chick-fil-A. Also nice. Because, you know,
Yeah, we don't really have much here.
when we go down to the town, you know. Well, this is all in what they up there call the city. What we in Florida would call a one-horse town. But up there, it's the city. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, let's all go down to 27 to Somerset, right? Somerset's got a total population of like 12,000. The town I'm living in right now, which is a suburb of Orlando, has 70,000.
If we want a decent or good restaurant, we usually have to go, I don't know, either E-Town or Bowling Green.
Right. So, yeah. If we want to.
Now, in Bowling Green, there's a really good Mexican restaurant.
Last time I was up in Kentucky, there was a really good steak restaurant in like Somerset. It was really good. And it wasn't like a chain or anything. It was just like some people who owned a restaurant.
Fair.
Really good though, you know. And then there was a combo restaurant that served sushi and Mexican food. And like everyone who worked there was Mexican.
Yeah, that's a weird combo.
It was good though. I went there and got the steak and scallops with rice, and it was good.
Fair.
I was like, damn, man. I think my mom got fajitas or something, and she was pretty impressed. Give me 1 second, Les. I'm going to roll in here and grab my drink. I forgot. Okay. I couldn't have carried it in anyway because I was so freaking, my hands were full with all the boxes. So I can put this Dune set over here where the rest of the Dune stuff is. Nice.
That'll be nice.
Yeah, I mean, my work area is a complete wreck. But once I clear it out, I mean, it's a wreck because there's a bunch of big things in the way that all have a place they should be, but they're not there because I haven't put them there, and I need to. And then the whole room would be clean, and my wife would be really happy, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm lazy. You know, that's what it is. It's pure laziness.
I'm trying to figure it out. What weapons do in Dragon Slayer? What weapons use strength versus dex?
I don't know. I have the Dragon Slayer book.
Yeah, I was looking through the PDF, but it doesn't seem to say much on that. Just gives you a list of the weapons.
Probably because it depends on whether the DM even uses that damn rule.
Not fair.
In most classic D&D games, my work apron looks like a freaking Jackson Pollock painting. I bet you if I were to cut it out like, you know, a 12 by 12 swatch and put it in a frame and put it online, somebody would probably pay me a bunch of money. You know what I mean? there's a story of a college professor who cut a swatch of his old paint apron off, brought it into his class, and asked his students to explain how it made them feel. And they, of course, came up with all kinds of bullshit about how it made them feel emotionally. And after everyone had turned all their papers in, is that for me?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Another thing.
Yeah, they just came. I saw them driving away.
You know what I would have written down, James?
What?
I would have written down confused why the art teacher brought like a apron that he cut up and brought to school.
Well, they didn't know it was his apron. That's the thing. He cut a perfectly whatever swatch out and he put it in a little frame. And he
She'll probably
asked
be confused
them to explain to him
what that
what
meaning
it
meant.
made them feel emotionally.
I feel like
And
I
they
don't know.
wrote these very flowery, it made me feel this and that and the other thing, only after everyone had done the assignment did he let them know what it was. Which basically, I don't know if he graded them or not. See, this is what just came in the mail, guys.
Oh, nice.
This is the Atreides dice, which means on the one face there's the Atreides symbol. I've got Harkonnen dice coming as well, and then of course I've got the Kickstarter dice that have on the one face it has the sandworm Shai Hulud, and it come in crystal blue or a really cool like orangey yellow color. Oh, Bruce riding around in a poop truck, feeling hungry. That has got to be not a good place to be. It's like, don't eat any of the poop. It's not good for you. But anyway, what were we talking about left?
I was trying to think about what weapon I was want to use. Probably a short sword, bow.
A short sword
Yeah, short sword, shield, bow.
for a dwarf?
Not dwarf. For my elf.
Oh, you'd rather be an elf?
As a backup character, just I don't want to make this dwarf character and then never be able to use them because
The elf
die.
as a fighter, you put the 17 in dex, you get the bonus 18 dex, and everyone knows that the best attribute in old school D&D is dex.
Yeah.
Because of all the attributes, it affects the most things. I mean, it affects your ability to hit with a bow. It affects your ability to have a good armor class. I mean, it's just, a really good attribute. So an elf fighter with an 18 dex and a longbow?
You can't have a longbow.
Why can't he have a longbow?
Because elves can't use longbows.
That must be a dragon.
Yeah, it's a dragon slayer thing. They can't use two-headed weapons, longbows, and stuff like that.
Oh, the elves must be very small.
They're lith or something like that. They say very.
That's
weird.
wild because, like in OSC and basic D&D, elves are constantly using longbows.
Yeah, I know. I was a little confused. I'm like, aren't longbows usually what elves are mostly depicted using?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that's weird.
Because elves are small, but they're not dwarf small. They're like 5.5 feet tall.
Yeah, they're still decently tall. It's just that.
Yeah, they're easily within that range to where they could use.
Yeah, Dragon Slayer says, nope, can't use them. They're too small. I'm like, okay.
Well, I mean, if that's what they want to do to give a little bit of a little bit of flavor and to stand out a little bit, that's fine.
Yeah. I don't know. It seems weird to me, though. I mean, again, you would think that they'd be mostly useful using a longbow.
My brother-in-law's been down for a few days because his truck was broke, but he's got it back. So, and it's kind of screwed him over because he had a lot of stuff to do where he lives, and yeah. Not 100% sure how I'm supposed to even mount this. Is there I guess it's up to me to figure that out. Because that guy's flying. Yeah, don't bite your nails when you're working with the poo. That makes sense. Yeah, I used to install underground utilities, and by that I mean big ass freaking sewer pipes. So, and I'm not talking new construction either. I'm talking in the middle of the city grid, having to cut into one sewer main.
Oh wait, no, never mind.
Sewer mains.
Forget what I said. They can actually use longbows. It's just that they can't use two-handed weapons, melee weapons.
Right.
I don't know why.
Which I even think is kind of a little weird. I mean, I know dwarves can't use like great swords and shit like that, but
yeah,
and halflings can barely use anything.
yeah.
But that's why if you're playing a halfling, you play a halfling thief.
Halfling thief or magic user.
Halflings can't be magic users in most old school D&D, man.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, you're definitely thinking like 5e or some shit if you're thinking halfling magic user.
I don't. Wait, let me check actually, because they do have restrictions on there, so I might be.
Yeah, in old school D&D,
Rangers.
halflings could be fighters or thieves, or with DM approval, clerics or druids.
Fair enough. I forgot to even check the racial.
I think they could be assassins too.
Oh yeah, assassin. That's another thing they could be.
Yeah.
Which is weird because aren't they usually like at least chaotic good or something? So I guess you could play a lawful or a chaotic evil or something like that. James? Oh, I think we lost James. Yep. That's. Oh. Well, he's still.
The one that used to kick puppies and shit, that grows up and becomes
God.
an assassin.
Are you back, James?
Saying that one can't be evil.
James?
All right. Yeah, I'm back. My internet was
okay. Yeah. You're.
The internet was freaking for a second. It's back.
Yeah, I get that the halflings don't have anything that says that they have to be good, but I don't know. It seems weird to me.
No, they are generally good. Like, generally speaking, halflings are good. But that don't mean there can't be, a twisted freaking halfling out there that likes getting paid to kill people.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, humans, elves, or half elves can only be magic users.
Yep.
I find it weird that elves
dwarves can never use arcane magic, and halflings as well. And the cleric druid thing in normal old school D&D, I mean, I'm not going to bring my Dragon Slayer book out, but in normal D&D, we're at dungeon master approval only. So if you wanted to play dwarf cleric, you had to have the DM's approval. Otherwise, all dwarf clerics were considered to be NPCs.
Dragon Slayer says that humans and half elves can only be druids.
I'm sorry, you're adorable.
But halflings,
Yeah, in AD&D, halflings could be druids. And all of their gods were like fertility goddesses or goddesses of the harvest or something.
yeah. Halflings can be clerics, though they only get 4 levels.
Yep. Usually of Yandala, which might be different than that because I'm talking Greyhawk.
Yeah, you're talking Greyhawk there.
Yandala is like their hearth goddess or whatever. But I think there's actually an evil halfling god in their pantheon.
I don't know. I never really.
Well, you know the dwarves got one, Abathor.
Yeah.
I mean, Moradin is the patriarch of the dwarven pantheon, but his brother Abathor is the god of greed. And a lot of the Duergar, the Duergar, they worship Abathor primarily, you know? So, I mean, and then in the elven pantheon, there's evil gods. I mean, we know Loth for sure, but I'm sure there's other evil elven gods that are part of that pantheon. You know, so.
Although in this game, halflings cannot be assassins.
Huh.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, you know what the problem is with making OSR games is making them different.
Yeah.
And it sounds to me like that's one of the ways he made them different is by
changing restrictions,
putting different limitations on things. I mean, in original BX D&D, let's be honest, a halfling could be a halfling. That was it. And it was basically a fighter subclass. It wasn't even a thief subclass. It was a fighter subclass, the halfling.
Then there's also they differentiate it by adding a race that you wouldn't normally see called Cyclops men.
Yeah, he added. Well, I mean, I wonder if anybody ever asked Gillespie if he's just a huge fan of the movie Kroll. Because in the movie Kroll, there were the Cyclops men. And one of them helps the adventurers along the way. But the problem the Cyclops men have is that they can all see the exact moment they're going to die. So, looks like I've got a couple of broken swords here. Not hard to fix. Pain in the ass, though. Or inconvenient is what I should say. Well, the pieces are all here, so it'll be easy. But, yeah, in case you guys are wondering what we got here, these are elite Harkonnen troopers. So they're wearing heavier armor. They've got, a different kind of helmet, and that's a las rifle, which you definitely don't want to, like I said, luckily Chone Corporation, all of that, the las rifles they're importing into Arrakis have a safety on them. They won't fire if the target has a shield on. They've learned their lesson, basically.
You don't want explosions going off.
Yeah. Because like we were saying the other day, it's not just a explosion, it's 2 explosions that are equal to the bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki at either end of the dill. So the guy holding the las rifle goes up like an A bomb, and the guy with the shield who got hit by the las rifle goes up like an A bomb. And that's enough to destroy a city. So, on generally everywhere else in the empire, the most common weapon used is the las rifle. But because of the way Arrakis is, they don't use las rifles a whole lot because so many people use shields, and it makes it dangerous, you know. They are good for taking out material, though. So if you got a las rifle and you're in a good position and you see it like an ornithopter you want to take out, that's a pretty good matchup. You know what I mean?
Yep.
If you hit the ornithopter, chances are it's going down. But and that's something you might want to do if you're trying to take the eyes out from your enemy. You know, shoot down all their scout ornies so that they can't, you know, warn them. Or if you're a real jerk, shoot down their carry-all. In the new Dune, they were doing this weird thing where the carry-alls had these like balloon things that they, you know, inflated these balloon things and then floated away. It was like, yeah, that's so stupid. You know, a harvester cannot do that. According to the lore, a harvester needs a carry-all to come and get it. And the carry-all basically lands on it and locks onto it with electromagnetic locking mechanisms and picks that bitch right off the sand and takes off. Because a 450-meter long worm can come about half its length out of the sand to get you. So that means if you're not at least 200 plus meters up, in theory, that worm could come up and get your ass. So, you know, not good times.
Definitely doesn't sound like it.
No. And Hungar went to bed, or we could all make fun of him for getting ate by a worm again yesterday. And he had his, he was riding around in a sand buggy. And it was full of materials he'd spent hours harvesting.
Oof.
Uh-huh. And then he wasn't paying attention and he ran into sink sand, which is basically quicksand. And while he was in the sink sand, the worm came and got him. And he lost the buggy. Everything in the buggy, everything he was wearing, everything in his inventory, everything. And reappeared back at the starting zone in his underwear. You gotta love it. I tell you what, no one I've ever... I don't know what my brother does. That dude, I thought I was doing bad about getting ate by worms. Nah. I've only been ate like twice. That dude, man, he stays ate by a worm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like every time you turn around, he's getting ate by a worm. It's like, what are you doing? You know? Oh, I was out doing circles in the middle of some drum sand just to see what would happen. Well, you got ate by a worm. That's what happens. And I know you probably don't know, but drum sand is a type of sand on Arrakis that transmits vibration better than even normal sand. And worms are attracted to vibrations, all vibrations, right? So if you're in the middle of drum sand being an idiot, the chances that a worm is on the way is 100%. 100%. The worm is on the way. And heaven help you if you're wearing a personal shield. Because something about the the way the Holzman shields work, literally drives the worms into a killing frenzy. It will attract every worm within 200 kilometers, just specifically right to you to get that ass. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, not what you want to be doing. But Hungar. Now, me, I have to admit, I've spent some time where I find that line between the sand and the rock, you know, and you find just that perfect line that you know the worm can't get there. So then you jump on the sand with your shield on and jump up and down to make sure it comes, and you see it crest up and come after you. And then you just hop back onto the rock. And I've had the worm literally land, and it's like 10 feet away from my character looking me right in the face. And I got an achievement for that called Shai Halud Stares at You or some shit. And only 4-point-something% of people in the game have that achievement.
So not many.
Yeah. Yeah, every time you get an achievement in the game, it tells you what percentage of people have it.
Yeah.
So, like, some people, you know, they have 60% of the people might have it, right? But then some people, you know, like I have unlocked every single ability in the Swordmaster tree, and only like 20-something% of people have done that. However, I was out in the deep desert yesterday fighting with the assholes out there. That was not fun. Not super fun at all, if I'm honest. Because, I mean, the deep desert, that's where shit gets real, you know what I mean?
Dwayne's leaving in about an hour. You want to come hang out with us, or?
Yeah. I don't know. She's being a busybody.
Dwayne's trying to like get your character name so he can, but I don't know how to turn on your
Concobar.
How do you spell it?
Concobar.
Oh yeah, Conco.
It's Concobar.
Yeah, because he's
So I'm
trying
gonna
to.
put you on my ward so it doesn't do that to you anymore.
Oh, you don't even have to do that, dude. I'm just happy to be on the same world. You're going to see me building some castles, killing some trolls.
Castles in the sand.
What game is that?
Valheim, my brother-in-law
Valheim.
plays it. And I've kind of been promising that I would check it out on his world, you know, like, because the one problem Valheim has is the problem that Minecraft had for like years. And that is you're all alone. There's no one there. So Minecraft solved it by adding villages. And if you know what you're doing, you can go and get villagers, and you can either move them and make villages, or you can just build your fortress around a village. And then you don't feel alone because you have all the villagers, right? Standing around going, meh, 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 right?
Or you put them in a little box so you can trade with them.
Well, you don't have to put them in a box to trade with them. That's just what assholes do. Me, I build them all houses, set them up with beds and chests full of like bread and potatoes, you know.
Well, the farmers go like
I treat my villagers good, is what I'm saying.
the farmers
But
go the best
I've
way.
seen like what PewDiePie does, where he puts his villagers in like a 1x1 box. I was like, damn, PewDiePie, those are not villagers; those are slaves. You have slaves,
Except for the two that you would put in a farm, so they farm for you.
right? So, yeah, I set up villages, and I make a bunch of whatevers, and then I harvest carrots and whatever and trade them to the villagers for emeralds. And then if I'm lucky, I might have a villager that has diamond weapons and so I can trade, shit to those guys for, diamond weapons. And so in that way, I end up being able to get the high end stuff without having to rely on, mining for hours to get the high end stuff. Instead, I just spend tens of hours building the village. I think it would be easier, honestly, to just mine the diamonds.
I don't know. I think they made Minecraft way too easy.
But then you wouldn't have the villagers. And come on. Everybody loves the villagers, right?
Yeah, not saying it was a bad idea. Just it takes out some of the skill or the issues of the progression.
Dude, I played original Minecraft. You didn't want to play that game. There was one kind of tree, one kind of rock, one kind of dirt, creepers everywhere, skeletons and zombies, but no baby zombies.
Yep.
And none of the zombies or skeletons had any kind of armor. The Nether didn't exist. It was like, and it would just get, for me, that game was kind of depressing because, you got that piano music playing and literally no one around.
And nothing really to do, really.
And nothing really going on because you're,
Hey, the good thing is they did
the side of a mountain.
To be fair, they did actually improve certain things and make a higher tier weapon, so it's not like they completely destroyed the.
Well, in the original Minecraft, they had up to diamond weapons still.
Now they have more than that. You can actually get better than diamond.
Yeah, if you go and get like the dark whatever from the Nether.
Yeah, the netherite stuff.
Yeah, so.
And then there's also enchanting. So enchanting.
Yep, they added enchanting, which is cool because who doesn't want a diamond pickaxe that has the ability on it that makes it where it doesn't, degrade really fast.
You can also get it to where it repairs itself whenever you mine things.
Yep. And then you need your sword that's got like knockback on it or whatever so that you can run up on creepers and smack them and knock them away from you before they explode.
A bow with infinity on it.
Yeah, my God. Yeah, my brother-in-law has been playing Valheim. The world he's on right now is 1,700 and something days on the world.
Neat.
So yeah, so I'm on his world now, and I'm just running around making castles and shit, doing my thing. You know how you do, just doing your thing. And of course he's like being super helpful. He's like trying to give me a bunch of stuff, and I'm like, dude, I don't need anything. Believe me, I can just
You know how to play the game now.
Yeah, I know how to play that game. I can make shit, but then again, he did give me a black metal axe, and that shit was badass.
It's like how bad I was at the start of Vintage Story, but now I can play it pretty well.
Yep. So I'm happy to say that everything I ordered came in, including my beloved Saldakar, who I did not get the last time. So, I already had some that I myself had 3D printed, but he had the STL for, you know, the solid car. No, you probably don't. But in the movie, there's a solid car that's not wearing a helmet that's talking to Peter DeVry. And this dude had the STL to that guy. So, you know, no, I couldn't find that STL. So I'm all like, damn, man, you know, I definitely. Plus, we got these guys right here. These are Sodakar Marauders, is what these guys are. And these two are designed to be mounted with a post to show that they're using suspensor fields to like drop from above.
Oh, I gotta go.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to end too. So catch you later, bro. And everyone else, thanks for joining me for a little stream where I talk about these Dune miniatures, and I will catch you guys at some other time.